Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to part 2 of my Fury guide. Right now we're just going to go look at the talents, and then we're going to look at some macros, and I'm going to show you an add-on, and it should just help you get a bit of an edge if you're new to the Fury scene. So let's get in there and have a look, shall we? First of all, we got talents. Now line 1, you can do whatever you want with it. Level 15, not a problem. Level 30, you're going to want to take Impending Victory, especially at lower item level, and simply because you will get downtime phases, and what you're going to want to do with them is just use Impending Victory. It's just something else to do. It's a little bit extra damage, and it just helps you out a little bit for filling in those gaps. Level 45, we're going to want to take Sudden Death. Sudden Death is 100% the way to go. Furious Strikes is pretty close, but honestly, it's pretty close on sim, but when you're fighting, it's really not. Execute just does so much damage, the crits look really nice, and it's just the best way to go at the moment. Unquenchable Thirst is no good either, unfortunately. The damage just is not substantial enough, even with the added crit and damage to it. Level 60, we're going to want to go Stormbolt. Dragon Roar is definitely usable, especially in an AoE fight, so say Tectus or Twin Ogron, you're going to get a little bit extra damage out of it, that's fine. And generally, Dragon Roar is better also for heroics and things because a lot of the mobs are not immune to stun, so that's something to bear in mind. So Dragon Roar is really, really good, but Stormbolt is just ahead for single target DPS on certain bosses. So like Butcher, you're definitely going to want Stormbolt. 75, you can do whatever you like with that. Level 90, Avatar is completely crap. Blade Storm, of course, you know what that does, massive AoE damage. And Bloodbath is, of course, a single target. Very, very simple. Now, level 100 is the one where it gets kind of interesting. Siegebreaker and Ravager are actually pretty close on DPS. Siegebreaker is not far behind at all, although I don't really recommend it. It's a bit weird, to be honest with you. And it seems to do an odd amount of DPS. Sometimes I'll get really big, like 30 or 40k crits with it, and sometimes I'll do like 9k standard. It's not fantastic. It can be really good, but no, I don't recommend it at all. Ravager for a lower item level is really, really good. So if you're underneath 640 or 645, I would definitely go with Ravager. Once you start hitting the 650, 655 mark, you're going to want to go to Anger Management. And the reason you're going to want to do that is because we're expending so much fury. We're hitting more, we're hitting faster, we're using Bloodthirst more because hopefully we've got more haste. We've got things coming off cooldown quicker and quicker. We're going to, especially for things like Butcher, we're going to want to be able to use Recklessness maybe 2 or 3 times if we can, depends on how long the fight goes on for and how much rage we use during that time. It's just going to be better for you. As we go on, you're going to be bloodbathing more, you're going to be stormbolting more, and it just all scales up. And as we keep progressing in item level, it's going to get more and more powerful, and we're just going to scale just insane amounts. So don't worry about that at all. Next thing I want to do is I want to go over a couple of macros. My standard stuff. Execute is going to do Bloodbath as well as Blood Fury, which is my racial passive. Bloodbath you pretty much always want off of cooldown. You can just take this out if you want, because sometimes for those Butcher fights you will want it for when you pop Time Warp, and you're going to want to put your pot with it and things like that. So that's fine, but Blood Fury generally as a racial passive should always be used on cooldown because it's not a huge cooldown, but it's also it's relevant enough that used every time it's up is a DPS increase, obviously. And my second one is just my Recklessness. It will cast Charge in case I'm not near the target. It will pop Recklessness. It will use both my trinkets if they have a use effect. It will cast Avatar if for some reason I took it, if they buffed it or something. It will cast Bloodbath if it's off global cooldown. So for example, if I took it out my Execute, it will probably be up and then I can use it then. And it will also cast my Blood Fury just in case that happens to be up. Now this becomes a little bit more relevant when you're using Anger Management, right? Especially having Bloodbath in my well, not in my Execute, in my Bloodthirst ability. I don't know why it's called Execute. Let's change that. There we go. So when I'm using Bloodthirst, Blood Fury is coming up a lot more because it's 1 minute cooldown. It's going to take a second or 2 off every time you use X amount of Fury. We use so much Fury with Furious Strikes, it's just ridiculous. So that's probably going to go down to like a 40-second cooldown quite easily. And just spamming those Furious Strikes, getting all that rage up. So every 40 seconds of Bloodbath instead of every 1 minute. Yes, please. We absolutely want that. So that's really good. And then Recklessness just kind of doubles that over and uses Recklessness. Recklessness is such a big cooldown that we really want to use that a bit more cautiously. and that's why that's kind of by itself. I haven't put that one in there because it's just not what we want to do. Next I have my charge macro. I've just got a heroic throw in there. I've got rend on there just in case, and I've got shield charge on there for when I'm tanking. It's just kind of like a general grouping of certain things that you want to do when you're playing different specs, and because they're all in different specs, actually it doesn't matter what you use it on. It doesn't affect any other class at all, so it's good. So that's all there is really for macros. There's not a huge amount. I'll pop them in the description, and I'm going to show you a add-on quickly. Let's just walk out of here, just chilling with my raptors, and let's head up here. This is the add-on you're going to get. You're going to have the ability in the middle that you want to use at the moment. You're going to have on the right is cooldowns you want to be used, and on the left you're going to have abilities that you previously used, so you can kind of keep a track on what you did last time. So in this case we're just going to follow this. It's going to tell me, it's telling me I got to use, well, I should probably charge because I'm a warrior, so I'm going to use my recklessness. It's wanting me to use berserker rage. It wants me to execute stormbolt. And we're going to bloodthirst, and wants me to use that. Execute again. Wild strikes. Rage and blow. Rage and blow. Wild strikes. Execute. Bloodthirst. Rage and blow. And I mean, without trying much, I've burst about 26k, which is pretty good for not being buffed or anything. So yeah, literally just follow this. I mean, it's not 100% correct all the time, and that is a bit of an issue. However, if you're new to Fury, it's really good for getting you in there and getting you doing relevant damage for sure. So there you are. That's the add-on for you guys. Everything's coming off cooldown. It's so good, and I hope you have a lot of fun. Let me know what you think, and I shall speak to you next time. Next up we have rotation.